G'day and welcome to another video on My Blue Heaven. This is a very special one as we approach the 2026 season.
Yeah.
This is Spencer, and we'll get to Spencer shortly, so just take it easy. He's very, very nervous. Okay, you need to settle down. Just settle down. Okay, so this is now the annual. Is that right?
It's like the fourth year, I'm pretty sure.
The fourth year where I have ranked our list before the season.
Which is my favourite video.
Yep, which is your favourite video, and that's why you are here. Just settle down. Don't interrupt, because this will go forever if you keep interrupting. So what we do here, if you're new to the channel, basically what it is, we get every player on the Carlton list. This year we've got 45 at this stage, and we had to wait for this video this time around. This time last year, we already knew the list. I don't think we had any SSPs last year, did we?
It would have been Will Wyatt. Was he SSP?
Geez, good question.
I'm pretty sure Will Wyatt was an SSP last year.
Oh, he may have been. In fact, that may be right. Okay, that may be right. Anyway, let's get on with it. But we're ranking the list from... I'm not using the word worst because I copped a fair bit last year, but we're ranking it from number 45 on the list down to number 1, okay, and ranking it in order. And here is a criteria, okay, and we'll get to that criteria shortly. But I've got Spencer here because Spencer actually said to me, you're going to do that video where you rank the list from the worst player on the list down to the best. And I said, yeah, I am, but I'm just waiting for the list to be finalised. And finally... last week, or was it early this week, we finally got the news. No, it was early this week.
Oh, this week, yeah.
We got the news that derkson and also Elijah Hollands were finally signed as SSP. So we now have a list of 45 players. And I must say, I had actually started this and it was so difficult. Like it was doing my head in. And Spencer said, are you going to do that video? You're going to do that video? And I said, why don't you have a go at a list as well? And I can share it like we did with the votes, Because Spencer was part of the My Blue Heaven and My Blue Hell votes last year. And you actually came up with the My Blue Hell, which we've canned. Because who won it?
Motlop won it.
And see what happened?
Yeah.
See what happened. Anyway, we're getting rid of the My Blue Hell medal. We'll still do the My Blue Heaven medal. And I actually said to Spencer, you do it and I'll share yours. And I thought, why not get Spencer on so he can explain his decisions? Now, hand on our heart, we have not for 1 second even discussed this. We watched the footy together on Wednesday night and we did not even discuss it then. So it has been top secret all along. And you've been working diligently on yours. And I've been just working on mine as well. I'm very excited with this video. And I do understand you are a little bit toey, a little bit nervous, and you were stuck in traffic and all that type of stuff to get here. And there is a criteria. Now, I'll put the criteria up now so you can see. And this is a little bit loose, isn't it, this criteria? I mean, we're going with importance. Then I suppose you've got to take into consideration what they've achieved across their career. Yeah. All Australians, best and fairest, just the body of work. The body of work's pretty important. Then we're going with recent form, the last 12 months, potential, age, and sort of, I suppose you look at injury and longevity as well. And then I just sort of chucked in flexibility because there's no doubt we'll talk about players who can play multiple roles.
Utility players.
But before we get there, mate, because the channel doesn't really know you, other than you being one of my children.
And my turtle, I guess.
And your turtle.
Was it Little Vossi?
Little Vossi. What's the turtle's real name?
Constantine.
How's he going?
He's going all right. He's getting big.
Yeah, he's getting big.
He's not little anymore.
And this is history. This is the first time in 8 years that I've ever had anyone on this channel.
You've never had a guest?
Well, I've had a guest, but via Zoom.
Oh, right.
So this is the first time I've had someone in my presence. So if this goes well, this could become a regular thing. But if it goes poorly,
I get the sack.
you will.
Like the,
You will never be back on My Blue Heaven again. And I know actually, I was actually thinking about this. I was thinking that there's maybe an agenda here, given I'm getting on in age.
Oh no!
And you're seeing how this channel is just growing. You're looking at the views. It's all about the likes.
All about the likes.
You're looking at the growing subscribers and the popularity and the fact that a couple of my videos have gone viral. You're thinking I might leave this
Succession
to you in my will.
Oh yeah.
You'll get the will, and you might get the rocking chair and my glasses. You might get a watch. And then you'll see you get My Blue Heaven. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah. I've been pushing along a couple of my other siblings, pushing them away.
Anyway, we are very excited to do this.
Yeah.
And it might take a bit of time, but that's okay. And look, we encourage you, like this is a difficult task. And it's just a task. It's a bit of fun. And this isn't the worst player on the list. Like if you're number 45 on the list, it's not necessarily that you were the worst player. It just means that you might be young, and we're just trying to rank the list in that regards to get down to who we think is the most important player on the Carlton list. And this is interesting, and there are going to be some shocks because I don't know Spencer's. And we're probably going to argue about this a little bit along the way. Anyway, quickly, can you remember your first game of football? What's your first memory?
Probably, I've been going since I was probably 2 or 3 years old. Probably the first big memory of mine was the 2006 or 7 Eddie Betts goal of the year against Collingwood at the G.
Yeah, we got beaten, didn't we?
We did. I think we were almost on the opposite pocket of that, weren't we?
Can you remember what happened that day in the morning? What we did?
No.
You learned how to ride a bike.
Did I?
That morning.
Well, up at like one of the...
in the car park up here, just behind where we are now.
Wow.
That day you learned how to ride a bike.
There we go.
And then Eddie Betts kicked an unbelievable goal. Favourite ever game?
Probably the Melbourne game.
The
final.
Yeah.
I think the game before that would have been the elimination against Richmond.
How was I in that game?
Oh, you were horrible. One of the worst displays you would ever seen. Yelling at everyone around him.
Yeah.
No, he was. But no, I think the euphoria that got to that game, especially just ever since I'm born 2000, we just never really got there as an adult. And I went up to Brizzy the next week. I went up to watch the prelim by myself. Yeah, and
that was good though.
Too. That first 10 minutes where we kicked those 5 goals, even though we didn't win, I think that every support that was there, they stood up and clapped everyone off. We were just so appreciative of that year.
You're actually doing well here, mate. Well, you are a natural. I won't have a job shortly. Who's your favourite all-time Carlton player? Obviously, since you've been, can you remember
my first one?
Yeah,
Carl
Norman. Second.
Lance Whitnell.
Lance Whitnell.
Yeah.
Okay, Lance Whitnell or Harry mckay? Who's better?
I love Big Whit. I just think he's just a big boy.
Okay.
Especially when I used to go to the EJ Whitten matches, and he would just be this big presence there. I love them.
But who's your favourite current day player?
Oh, that's a hard one.
No, it's not.
I think I have to go along with the Frank the Tank Evans.
Yeah, Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. Frankie.
Anyone else? You sort of. Who's your favourite older player? And then I'll ask you who's your favourite younger player.
Older player, like age?
You've just been around the club for 10 years.
Probably go with Cripps.
Okay, and favourite youngest player? Outside of, obviously, Frankie's middle, 24, 25. Who's your favourite young player coming through? Don't say Jagger. It's pretty boring.
No, Jagger's going to be a good player, but I like Taylor Byrne, actually.
Yeah.
I think I was a small forward playing football, so I've always been looking at small forwards. It's a hard position.
How would you rate yourself as a footballer?
Not as good as you.
No, you weren't bad. You were actually okay.
You were the worst out of the 3.
You were actually okay. Anyway, actually, describe yourself at the football. What do you like as a supporter at the games? Because we go most weeks.
I've gotten it from you, but I'm pretty bad at the football.
Yeah,
I get passionate I get a bit aggressive.
Are you annoying, do you think?
I am.
Do you think you're annoying to people around you?
Probably. I have a high-pitched voice. I'm a bit...
And what about myself? How would you describe me early days?
Early days, you were probably on what I am now. Nowadays, I think the old age has got to him and he slowed down a bit.
Yeah. I'm pretty quiet, actually.
You're a bit quiet. I remember some days you used to have a certain moment you'll go like, oh. and that used to be my favourite bit, like when we did a really crappy centering kick and maybe a defender was going to get the ball.
Anyway, Brett Thornton.
Brett Thornton?
What's his nickname?
We call him Melting Moments.
And what's Ryan Houlihan's nickname?
Princess. Because of the long hair.
Okay. All right, let's get on with this. We're actually waffling on now.
Yeah.
The way we're actually going to toss a coin to see who goes first, and we're going to break it up. We're going to get a chunk out of the way first from 45 down to 31. So I'll go first. We're going to toss a coin, but yeah, I'll go first, and then Spencer can jump in. We'll put them up for you to see. And once again, if you want to do this yourself, please have a go at it and put your list in the comments below. And we're open to obviously some criticism here, but it's just basically an opinion based on that criteria: importance, what they have shown across their career, recent form, 12 months, potential age, injury, longevity, and flexibility. And we will probably contradict ourselves along the way in regards to that criteria. But it is what it is. So I'm going to start. I'll chuck them up now. So this is from 45 through to 31. So I've got Matt Duffy. He's that far off.
Yeah.
But so was Rob Monahan. He was 12 months ago really far off, and then he started to show something in the back end of the year. So I've got him at 45. Harry Charlson, I feel like 1 year contract as a rookie. We've got a lot of that type of defenders. He's got some talent, but he doesn't have a lot of athleticism. I think Rob Monahan is a big improver. I've got him at 43, but his preseason's been really good.
I like some of his training stuff.
And I feel like he's got some really athletic qualities. So it wouldn't surprise me if he does debut this year. That's my smoky to improve.
That's a big guy.
Then I've gone the two Campos. The only reason why I've got Lucas in front of Ben is I think he's just got a little bit more of an outside game, a little bit more dynamic. And will be fascinating to see how those two boys develop. And obviously Lucas debuted at the start of last year. Ben's yet to make his debut. I think Ison... I think potentially, it's very exciting to see what he can offer down the line. He could have been in front of Billy Wilson. Billy Wilson's an interesting one for me. 1 year contract. He's a little bit behind the eight ball. Had a really good match sim, but just can't appear to break into this team. I know he played some games at the end of last year. Taylor Burns showed a lot in the preseason. You're talking about potential down the track. He could have been lower or higher, whatever you want to call it. But I've got him at 38. Flynn Young, another one. Like, you look at this block of players here and you're thinking, there's actually some decent players here with a bit of potential.
Similar as well.
Yeah, and Flynn Young, another one that is just going to have to probably bide his time. I know he kicked 4 goals in the VFL. We've got him at 37. Derkson's come in. The reason why I got Derkson there is because... and not, up around 42, 41, is because he's got a pretty good body of work in the VFL. Like, not All-Australian, I think he made the VFL Team of the Year as a defender for the GWS Giants. And the year before that, I've done my homework. The year before that, he won their goal kicking. So he's a very good VFL player. And I think he's shown enough in the 2 preseason games in the position he plays. So importance, I've got him at 36. And he could have been even lower than that. Hudson O'Keefe, I think down the track, I think the Lee mark him for potentially a key forward role. I don't think he's a key forward. He's a ruckman, but he's going to be up against Pittonet and Reedy, and those two are clearly in front at the moment. Chesser, really impressed the other night, and he has played 35 games, but they're all at the Eagles. They're dreadful. They're dreadful. But I like the way he played the other night, but I've got him at 34. Boyd, 33, out of contract. He's not so much out of favour at the moment, but he's sort of he's playing that position where we've got a fair bit of depth at the moment, and he's a bit ho-hum. Beautiful kick, but yeah, does he impact the game enough? Reedy, really, really excited to see what he's got to offer down the line, but he hasn't done a lot yet. And I think the big mystery for me is Ashton Moyer at 31. Like, appears to have a lot of potential, but other than that 4-goal game where he got the rising star against Melbourne.
Yeah, Melbourne.
He just seems to be a little bit underwhelming.
I think he fades in and out a lot.
And there's been question marks on his work rate, and that could come down to him being quite young. But at some point, that type of player needs to start to produce. I would have liked to have him a little bit lower, but at this stage I have him at 31. But the funny thing is, he's at 31, but he'll probably play in opening round.
He will. I reckon he will. I think based off the two practice matches and where they chose certain plays over others, I think Ashton Moyer will be playing opening round.
Okay, let's go with yours.
I think I had a similar opening 5. I had Matt Duffy.
Yep.
I think similar reasons. I don't think he's really getting to the skill of AFL football. I don't think he completely understands it too well, which is a shame because we draft these Irish footballers because of their athletic ability, and I think that both him and Monaghan have this athletic ability, but the skills is the problem. 44, Harry Charlton.
Yep.
I'm not quite sure about Harry. Can he?
He's a rookie.
He's a rookie.
He plays.
Second-year rookie.
He plays in a position where
it's a lot of other people that we have
hasn't
above
got.
him.
Hasn't got great speed.
No.
Knows how to find the ball.
He has a pretty
good year in the VFL last year, but it's just like he has to be a little bit more dynamic.
Important year.
Yeah, of course it is. I actually can't see him being on the list.
No, I don't either.
Next year. And that's no disrespect to him because he's probably a fine young man and he'd be a very good footballer.
Yeah.
He's a very good footballer, but just lacks
especially
that next step.
Especially bringing someone like Ollie Florent and now putting Williams back in the defence. I think there's certain players we are putting in this position instead of someone like Harry Charlton who can come in. So I feel like they don't think he's ready.
All right, let's roll through this.
Yes.
They're getting go. Let's go.
43, I go Rob Monaghan.
Yep.
I think similar.
Yep.
He has some glimpses. I liked his training sessions.
Yep.
42, I went Jack Eisen. I don't see him playing a game this year.
Ooh, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
It would be very late in the season.
I think you're wrong there.
I think it's going to be a development year for him. And I think he's...
I agree with that.
And I just don't see him maybe getting a game. His body's a bit under development for those second or third tall defenders.
Okay, so you got him at 42. Okay,
yes.
Who you got at 41?
My 41, I go Ben Camporelli, and then 40, I'll go Lucas. And I have the exact same reason why putting Lucas above. I think he's a winger, which is a position that we have a less bodies
coverage.
In, and I think there's more chances. I think him Ben getting reported last year was his chance to get the AFL game, and I think he sadly wasted that opportunity.
He fucked up.
Yes, he did, and I don't see him getting a game. So
unless we have some injuries, obviously.
I see him as
I think
I see him as a Bins or Dow. 30 disposals in the VFL. Doesn't get a game.
I think if with Cerra out for an extended period of time, and if something happened to say Cooper Lord or another inside mid, he might get a chance.
Yeah, of course. Injuries is
all
always...
right. Okay, 39.
I went Flynn Young.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all right. I mean, it's not much different to me.
No. I thought you were. I was surprised with your Flynn Young. I thought you would have put him quite high. I always hear you say good praises.
I do, but
I
do, but it's amongst where we're going to play him at this stage.
That is. I think also.
I actually think he's as good as some of the players on our list,
but
like other players, but.
You got Ainsworth.
We're looking at the body
Hayward.
of work at AFL level. Like, he hasn't got that yet,
also,
but he's a fine VFL footballer.
We brought in smaller forwards from trading, Ainsworth and Hayward, and that's his position.
Okay, let's keep going. All right.
38 went Harry O'Farrell. I think that's based off his injury. It's based off his injury. I think he has the highest potential out of most of our small our defenders. But his ACL is the problem. And
so what did you have him at?
I had, if without the ACL?
No, where'd you have him
38.
at? 38. Okay, Harry O'Farrell.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I just think...
all right, fair enough.
His body, it is a not
You
everyone.
haven't been to training the last month or so when I've been there doing the hard fucking yards, watching him train. He's
to a couple of
flying.
your trainings.
All right, okay, let's keep going.
37, I go Lockie Fogarty.
Ooh, I don't mind that. That's a good shout, mate.
I had him actually a bit higher than
That's a
that
good
last
shout.
Geelong match.
Why?
He has a role. It's a defensive forward, but then you look at Frankie Evans doing that as well as kicking goals.
I like that. I was. You know what? I was a gutless prick with Lockie Fogarty. Maybe I was seduced by the fact that Michael Voss really rates him, and I know he'll play
That's
a lot
why
of
I
footy
had him a
this
bit
year.
higher. But
Okay, but this is our opinion, though, isn't it?
Did you know last year was his first time ever that he kicked over 10 goals in a football season?
Yeah, that's pox.
That's not what you want from a small forward.
No, all right, let's keep going. You're getting a massive tick for that one. Okay, 36.
Taylor Byrne. I think he is above Fogarty if you're going to choose someone.
Yep.
He's got the potential.
Love it.
He's young. He's hard at it.
Yeah,
He's a prick. And I think we need a prick. He's like, he looks like...
It's not that different to me.
No, I think like a Ginnivan or a small forward that the oppositions hate, but we love.
All right, okay.
I love that.
Jeez, fuck, you can talk about it. Imagine how much you're going to be talking about when we get the top 10. Okay, so what number are we up to?
36.
Who's that?
It was Taylor Byrne was 36. Sorry, 35, Lewis Young.
Oh, fucking hell.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, okay, keep going.
I think and then 34, I'll go with Hudson O'Keefe. So it's not that off.
Okay, yep.
33, I'm going to go Jordan Boyd, which is not...
Well, exactly the same.
Yeah,
yep.
32, Ashton Moyer.
Ooh, yep.
And then 1 Reedy. So it's just a bit...
31 Reedy.
31 Reedy.
Okay,
yes.
so you haven't got... So the ones that are... So I've got Chesser at 34. He hasn't been mentioned by you yet. And I've got Wilson at 39, and he hasn't been mentioned by you yet. Fucking, what drugs are you on with Wilson? Oh, no, we'll get there. Okay, can I ask you why Lewis Young is at 35? Because that's where I had him. I think I had him in the 30s last year.
Yes.
And if we're looking at
important,
and you're the one who came up with important as the top criteria.
I know, but it's
a good shout, mate.
For me, it's Derkson.
I reckon there's going to be a lot of people who agree with you.
I think Derkson. I haven't said Derkson yet, and I just think like they both had good games with Geelong, but I think
that's going to be a talking point coming up to the opening round. I think there's going to be a talking point with the fans around who's it going to be. Because
I want Derkson.
Okay,
and he can't kick.
All right, let's go. So where do we go now? 30 to 20? Was it 30 to 21?
We'll go 21.
Okay.
Because then it'll be 11 the next one.
All right. So I'm going Fogarty at 30. Only because he's going to play a lot of footy. I just feel like he's going to play a lot of footy, and maybe, as I said before, I got sucked in by the fact that he's played a lot of footy. Played okay in that. He's been actually a pretty loyal servant of the club since he's arrived. I don't think he's played much VFL football, whether he should have or not. Is he good enough? No. Is he good enough as a dynamic player if we want to move further? No. And he's probably Taylor Byrne in time's going to be better than him. The Frankenstein obviously is just giving him whiplash on his way past, but I've got him at 30, but I like the fact that you've put him at 37. Let's keep going.
He's also out of contract.
I've got Motlop at 29. I'm not as excited about Motlop as a lot of people. In fact, he's now going to come off an ACL. I think he's got some talent, but I can't go past 29 for Motlop based on his performances last year. And really, what is his body of work like? What are his real strengths? So I got him at 29. I got a player I wanted to probably rank a little bit higher was Matthew Carroll. I think he potentially, if we talk about potential, that's on our criteria. I potentially feel like he's a B plus potential A grader.
Yeah.
If he can get, and then you look at the injury, because he has had some injuries. I really like him, but it's one of those positions, once again, where we've got quite a lot of players at the moment. I've got O'Farrell at 27. I think he's going to be a superstar.
It's going to be a solid player.
Solid player.
It's going to be a solid player.
I feel like he's going to be a superstar. Him and Harry Dean are going to be absolute
Do you
guns.
think the ACL is going to inhibit his potential whatsoever?
No, well, you never know.
Exactly,
But not. It's not going to limit, what he's able to do. I feel like it, given what I've seen at training, moving really well, been no hiccups. I reckon he'll come back as good as gold. You can never guarantee. The big one for me is Blake Acres at 26 because I had him top 10 last year.
That is.
Is that on the nose for me? He's for me. Just I feel like the best thing I reckon. I don't know what's going on with him at the moment, but the fact that we're playing Campbell Chester in front of him, maybe we've got.
Hurt.
Well, he trained last week.
Well,
he trained last
don't want
week
to risk it.
in match sim. No, I got him at 26. He just does not.
One bad year doesn't.
Yeah, no.
It's only one bad
Yeah,
year.
okay.
You gave Sard top 10 for the last 2 years, even though he was having mediocre years.
I maybe rated Blake Acres too high. Like I just feel like he went that much off the boil. I think he was second in the My Blue Helmet.
Yeah, and
that means a lot. That means I got him at 26. I just can't see it. It'd be interesting to see where you bloody got him. Dean at 25. Yeah, I mean, you can be really excited about him, but I just think it's going to be a real competitive year, solid year. He'll play a lot of football at senior level, but let's just wait and see. You know, he hasn't shown anything. I mean, he took a nice mark the other night, and I'm sure he's going to be an absolute gun for us, but I can't have him any higher than 25 at the moment. Got Frankie at 24. Could have been a little bit lower, but I think he's got still a bit to prove. I think there's still that. I mean, he had a barnstorming finish to the year.
One of the best.
Showed so much that we haven't had in some players in regards to balance and skill and smarts. Played well the other night, but he's still got a lot to prove. You know, they gave him 1 year contract.
He did, yeah, but he had one of the best small forward games.
They gave Motlop a 2 year contract. They gave Frankie 1 year.
I think one of the games last year, I think it was his 4-goal game, was the best statistically by a small forward in the Carlton list since Jeff Garlett in 2013.
Yeah.
And that's 12 years without a small forward playing that well.
And you better brace yourself here. I've got Lewis Young at 23. And if we're talking about importance, I feel like he's going to be a very, very, very... Do I rate him? Do I rate Lewis Young? Not necessarily. I don't rate him, but I feel like he's going to reach his absolute peak now. And his importance to this team can't be... And if we're having that as our top criteria, and don't think he's really put a foot wrong.
Do you see him as flexibility? Because last year we played him a lot in the forward line.
He can pinch it in a ruck. He can go forward. He's
important, as a backup.
His body holds up. Yeah. He's at the right age.
Is he 28?
Is there much more upside? Maybe with him really maturing in this new system, I don't know. I've got him at 23 just based on importance for us at the moment. I've got Adam Sard at 22. Similar boat to Acres. I feel like he's just hanging on. I think this will be...
I'm surprised he's lower than Acres. For you.
No, I think he's a better player than Acres.
Okay.
I think he uses the ball a little bit better. He's got more speed. Look, it might be a little bit... I don't want to keep going on about Acres. I've just got him at 26. I'm going to leave him there. And I've got Cottrell. It's probably a little bit...
low.
I don't know. I reckon a wing of Ollie Hollins and Matthew Cottrell is for us. Is good.
It's solid.
He's really good. But there's so many question marks now on his longevity and his body.
Hit that, yeah.
And so some supporters don't even rate him.
I love Cottrell. He's one of the hardest working players.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm interested in this now with some of the...
So we're starting at 30, right? Yeah.
Hang on. 30 down to 21.
30, Billy Wilson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
I think it's the hype. Everyone has the hype around Billy Wilson over the last couple of years. I see that maybe with...
I like him.
I do. I like him as well.
I just don't think he does enough.
The thing is, there is Newman's injury, Carroll's injury, who I rate a lot. I like Carroll. I rate him a lot better. That maybe there is a chance that he can slot in for a couple of early games and maybe can implement himself if he can show himself.
Yeah, I don't think there'd be many people watching this would disagree with you having Billy Wilson at 30,
Yeah.
but the facts of the matter are he's out of contract. He only got a 1-year contract.
There's a lot of out-of-contract players.
And if he doesn't really break in this year, it could be the end of him. Okay, keep going.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
It's a important year.
Let's go.
29, I went with Wade Derkson.
Yeah, you know what?
I liked it. I liked these 2 games. I thought he was solid. He reminded me of kind of a prime Sam Rowe.
Jesus, but just sort of think about
Prime
it. Just
Sam
think
Rowe.
about it for a second.
Just solid.
Think about it for a second. You call up a bloke who's never played AFL football. Sure, he's been on a VFL list, and as I said before, he's got a good body of work in the VFL. He's playing footy in Darwin for some club.
Journeyman.
Signed for Montmorency here in the I think it was Montmorency in the Northern Football League. They call him up at the last minute to come over and train.
Tries what?
Hardly anyone's heard of him. I mean, I know Melbourne, like
GWS, yeah.
He wanted to trade to Melbourne when he couldn't get. And you've got him at 29. What's it say about the list?
I don't think it as a list. I think it as a personality. I liked his.
Okay, all right. So you got Derkson, and I'm just sort of when you can just bring someone in like that and you have 2 games, and I'm not criticising you because I reckon there's a lot of people will probably agree with you.
We need solid backups.
And importance as well. But when you really think about it, fuck, where's our list at when you?
We have no key stock. That's our problem. We have no one in any key position plays besides our main.
Okay, so what number was that?
I was 29.
Okay, so 28?
28 went with Campbell Chesser.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he had solid. I really liked, what you said in your last video. He was a defensive midfielder. And Dempsey played, I think, with 87% of the game, and he kept him to 10 disposals. Yeah. I think that if he was on it...
Did you check that?
Yeah, I checked it last night.
Yeah, you've done some
And he was on it for 86% of the game.
Done some homework.
So he was, I think, based off... 76% of the game.
You do realise it was a practice game.
I know, but this practice games... Everyone says that.
All right, okay. All right,
I don't...
Okay, good.
27 with Jesse Motlop.
Same sort of reason as me?
Yeah, I think the injury is a really bad time for him, confidence-wise.
Yeah, okay, all right. 26?
Matthew Cottrell.
Okay.
I think it's the body.
All right,
his
beautiful.
body, I'm scared about his body.
No, good call. And I could have had him there as well.
And this is the same reason for the next one. I know you're not going to like this based off it, but Jeremy McGovern. I think he's one of the most important players, but I'm worried that his body won't
And
handle.
you know what? I reckon that the subscribers on here.
I love Jeremy McGovern.
Fucking love you.
I love Jeremy McGovern.
And they're going to hate me. And this could nearly spell the end for me. In fact, I'm actually going to change.
I like McGovern.
I'm actually going to change if you want. All right, okay.
24, I went with Mark Pittonet. I think I know he's our sole ruckman, but I think the Reedy of it all is the reason why I have him so high. That there is the uncertainty of Reedy.
You're hitting this out of the park.
There's the uncertainty of Reedy. If it was just Pittonet, I would have him higher.
You're hitting this out of the park.
So it's 23, and also this is a stat I did last night. The problem with Pittonet, he cannot mark the ball. Do you want to know how much he averages a mark a game for his career?
Right.
1.5.
Yeah, okay.
Do you think TDK was a good marker around the field?
Yeah, it was all right.
It was 2.7. The highest I could see was
We're not talking about TDK anymore. We're fucking
I know,
talking
but
about
what I'm
Pittonet.
saying is what we're missing. If this is how Reedy gets into the team, and I tell you this: if Reedy becomes an around the field marker, he will get over Pittonet, because I saw Harry Mckay going up the wing taking marks. And who's going to mark the bloody ball in the forward line, Dad? No one's going to mark the bloody ball.
Okay, 23.
23, I'll go with Matthew Carroll. I like Carroll.
Okay, same as me. There's potential.
Oh, he's practice matches. I know it was like the Motlop last year.
Yeah, but he was pretty good last year.
He was
pretty good in his
16
games. Yeah, he was pretty good.
I had him higher, but he's injured.
All right.
He actually pushed it back.
That's a good call.
22, Harry Dean. I think is a key position player. You can't expect too much of him this year. So I think
it's not too much from me, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see how much he jumps over the next 12 months.
Yes. 21, I went with Cooper Lord. I think he's just a solid midfielder. I think he can tackle. I want him to there's all the potential of the world of him being a defensive midfielder. And hopefully we keep on with that.
Okay.
I think tagging's still very important.
Okay, you're doing well. You're doing well. I'm a little bit worried about this. Okay, I went
11 now, right?
similar to you. I went Cooper Lord. Now with the opportunity with cerra out, and he was good last year. Cooper Lord, the best young player at the footy club. Solid citizen, foot soldier. He'll take over from Hewitt in time. Tackling machine, which we don't have. That bloke that can just really fucking put his body on the line in regards to effort and work rate. I got him at 20. I got Cowan. He's just sort of stagnated to me, probably because of his body, really.
Yes.
Like, he's had some injuries last year, and I didn't think he had a great year last year. He played okay, but he had some injuries. I got him at 19. Based on importance, and I think it's a huge year for him, I really do. But if he kicks 2 goals a game, even if he only has 9 disposals, 10, but if he kicks 2, there's over 40 goals. Over 40 goals for the year.
Yeah.
Brady Kemp at 18. I've got my doubts.
He won't.
And I think that sort of says a little bit about the unknowns of our list. When I've got someone like Brady Kemp, and this is what made it so hard for me.
Yeah.
To do this, and coming off the Achilles as well. But I feel like that. I've heard interviews with him. I've watched him at training. You've only been once. I've
been twice. All
right. Of what he's moving as well as he ever has, and he's spoken about he's actually more confident in his body now before his injury. I'm feeling a bit sick now, but I've actually got pittonet at 17.
Yeah, well, I don't hate that. You're
and I don't,
doubting yourself.
And I don't necessarily even rate him that much.
No,
and don't get me wrong.
He's solid.
I think he's a great clubman. I think he's an
underrated.
He's a decent ruckman. I think he's got decent craft. He doesn't do a lot around the ground, but he's also
a leader.
He's not a bad clearance player. I'd like to see him be a bit more aggressive.
I think he's a really good tap ruckman.
Anyway, I got him at 17. I've got Mitchie at 16.
Yeah, I know you like you.
I like Mitch.
He's left-footed is what scares me. He just kicks.
What do I say about Mitch McGovern?
Well, your favourite saying you say every single week. He says on his best day he's a superstar A-list, and on his worst he's one of the worst players on the team.
Yeah, I feel a little bit like I know I'm probably going to cop some, but I'm sensing big years from McGovern, and a bloke I'll get to shortly. I don't know why.
Big year from McGovern, though.
As I say, I think talent-wise.
Oh yeah, he has.
If we're talking about talent, but unfortunately, age, it's not about potential anymore because it almost feels like he's reached his peak. It's about consistency. I got Elijah at 15. I think he could have even been, if we didn't have the shit that went on with him, he could have even been a little bit lower. His brother at 14, I mean, top 10, the best and fairest. Going to be just a super consistent player. Just consistency. He'll play well, or he'll put in just maximum effort every week. Sometimes likes to polish, but I think he's a pretty good footballer.
I was going to say, actually, I will repeat my answer from before. I'd say probably Ollie Hollins is my favourite young player
at the club.
I think, yeah.
I got Nick Haynes at 13 because I had him at 13 last year, and people attacked me.
Oh, early on, you.
Oh, but I had him at 13, but people said, "What the fuck? You got Nick Haynes at 13?" And now he's got this injury, and he's probably it might be creep into him now. But if we're talking about injury and longevity, he's probably only got 1 year left in him. But I feel like he can, if he gets his body right, he comes straight back into the team.
How surprised were you that he played every game last year? Did you think that would have been...
No, probably, but we were pretty shit.
Yeah, no, but just that his body...
No. He would have been probably surprised himself, but now he's had a clean tissue? Out. Yeah. No, he's had I think a clean out of his knee. My man, Zachy Williams at 12. People will be disappointed with that, but I've actually been really impressed with what they've been able to do with him behind the ball in the 2 practice matches. I think the pennies dropped for him really late. I think it's dropped really late. Body holds up. He's going to be... I mean, he's a very good player.
Yeah.
He's a very good player.
Crafty, good
He's a very good player and got some flexibility as well. And if we're talking about flexibility, he can go forward, can go on in the midfield, but we're going to play him in defence. And once again, it becomes... Cherry slipped out of the top 10. slipped out. And it's going to be interesting to see when he comes back how well Cooper Lord's going.
Do you think he will push him out, especially with that 5-year
No,
contract?
I think they'll still. Let's not talk what's going to happen to Adam Cerra, but I got him at 11.
Yeah.
Don't know. It's just something about him that's for the amount.
So we're paying.
The amount we've got, the years and everything. It's just like, no, he's a good player. Like
He's
he's very good.
B-list
He's a
midfielder.
good player,
Yeah.
like a good player, but he slipped out of the top 10 for me.
Yeah.
All right, who have you got?
So 20, I went with Brody Kemp.
Yep, keep going because that sounds similar to me. Yep.
Yeah. I'm going to go 19, Adam Sard. I think what he showed in the pre-season matches that they're going to use him a lot more for his running. Maybe they can bring his running back into the game.
It's not that far away
It's
from where
probably
I
not,
am.
but,
I had him at 22.
Yeah, that's fine. But I just think he still has a bit of bounce with him.
Okay, yep.
18, I went with Frank the Tank Evans. I think I put him a bit too high. I had him in the 20s.
Imagine that.
Early 20s.
Think about that. Think about the amount of fucking shit he copped, and now he's ranked number 18, which is okay. And I would have loved to
We have a bit of bias with Frank, don't we?
No.
We have a bit of bias with Frank.
He's a good player, mate.
I
He's
know.
a good player.
But you're the Frankie Evans man. You are the Frankie
because
Evans
I was the
man.
only one in Australia that actually stuck up for it. I was the
So
only
we have a
one
bit
that
of
went on the
bias
back
here.
for him.
We have
So
a bit of
I love
bias
I love the man. Like
17, you got all the most raw talented player, bit of risk, Elijah Hollins.
Yep. Okay. Same with me. Yep.
Yeah, I think 16, Blake Acres. I think
you're fucking crazy.
you put
him
with one bad year. Like, look at his first 2 years. He was at the club. He was averaging 500 disposals.
You are right because
goals.
he had that much of a good year that I put him in top 10.
Yes, like 2 years, good 2 years, because his first year was the final year. His second year was the Brisbane year.
Okay.
So he was 10 goal a game, 500 disposals for a winger, and he's solid. Yeah. I think he has one bad year, and we're pushing him out like that.
I just think he's that much on the nose, on the nostril, and it's burning my nostril hairs. How bad and how stinky. And then I saw that photo with him.
I remember
in the rooms after the Geelong won the prelim final, and he was standing there with a big smile on his face next to Wally Dempsey and Sam DeConning getting his photo taken in the Geelong rooms. And I thought, this bloke's not invested. He's not. You can't have him. All right, who we got at 15?
15 I go with Lockie Cowan. I think his body is what worries me. I'm worried about Tasmania.
Okay, all right. So we got 14?
14 Nick Haynes. I think it's Haynes.
Yeah, same as me. Yep.
One.
Yep.
Same. It's similar. It's just his body. I'm just a bit worried about. 13, Zach Williams. I think we're similar with Williams.
I'm glad we're on the greens with that because we can go hard on the people who go, you're fucking crazy.
He was one of the most underrated players last year for us in the forward line.
Yeah,
I'm gonna miss him as a forward. I liked him as a forward.
Yeah, you know what? I reckon this is the best thing for him.
Yes, but I still...
And the best thing for us.
He just had a little class that we didn't have,
but
now we do.
Give it 3 weeks, we'll be fucking...
We'd like that. We're bipolar as a supporter.
All right, 12?
So, I went with Ollie Flora.
Ooh, very interesting. Ollie, why?
I had him a bit higher, and then he's like these... I think at 12 to 7 is very close in my opinion.
Yeah, okay.
He is steady. I think he's a bit above Zach Williams when it comes to class, and like when he has the ball, he's just like Pendlebury-esque.
But why not top 10?
Why not top 10?
You got others in front of him.
I got others in front of him.
Okay, all right. He got 11.
11. That's the exact same as you, Adam Cerra.
Oh, there you go.
He was 8. He was 8 about 2 weeks ago. Like when I first did the list, he got injured, and I was like. I looked at it and I was like, no.
All right, let's go quickly because we're going to have to run through this because it's just getting up to an hour and this will take 17 years to download. We'll go top 10. We'll just do the top 10.
Sure.
Okay, let's go top 10.
Like one at a time or single?
No, we'll go top 5 quickly.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I mean, so 10 to 6.
Yeah.
All right, I got Ben Ainsworth at 10. I've always liked him.
Oh, one of my favourite.
I've always liked him, and maybe I could have had him a little bit lower, but I've always liked him. Super smart, classy, does everything well.
He's the
but without being an A grader, if you know what I mean.
I think what I told you, I think on a phone call a couple of weeks ago, he's the closest we'll ever have to a Geelong small forward.
Okay, then I went Nick Newman. Obviously, body, age, but fuck, his body of work pre the injury is just sensational.
Amazing. Doherty-esque.
And could have been top 5.
Yeah. I think without the ACL...
I had thought about chucking him out of the top 10, but I just can't. I can't. Because he's such a quality, and I know he's been reported, but because he's such a quality leader and quality person, and
the whole package.
I've got to have him in top 10, and I think if he can get his body right, it's going to be so important for us.
I think the report actually helps him a bit because now he has a couple extra weeks to get his body right.
I got Oliver Florent at 8, which says a little bit about the list, because I reckon if you did the Sydney list, he might be around about
16.
Well, he might up and be around 20.
I
don't know. No, he'd be no. That's
he's
probably
played in 2 grand finals.
Yeah, no. He'd probably be around 15, maybe 14. That'd be an interesting exercise actually, but maybe we don't. I reckon he's classy, consistent, good runner, and good personality. And I've got Will Hayward, been a little bit quiet so far in the practice matches. Doesn't concern me. He's not a huge possession player, but high impact, and just fucking the energy and the tackling and just everything about him. He's kind of like, as you said before, the complete package from leadership to culture to everything.
How many goals do you want him to have minimum?
I think all the other stuff he does is so important that I'd be happy with anywhere between 30 and 40, just given the amount of other stuff that he does do.
Number 2, he's no longer fourth string in the Sydney forward line.
And I got Jagger Smith at 6. And I had him, but I just couldn't. I just couldn't. I just didn't think it would make sense given that he hasn't played a game yet. But we just know. This time next year, he could be number 2 or number 1.
People already say he's the best midfielder at Carlton. He hasn't played a game yet.
But you just can't do it.
You can't put that pressure on your shoulders.
Well, no, that's got nothing to do with pressure. It's just there's no body of work other than Coach Talent League, couple of practice matches, and that's it. You can't just, but fuck. All right, go. We have to do quickly, mate. Go.
10, Nick Newman. I think similar reasons. 9, I went with Ben Ainsworth.
Yeah.
He's as I said, the closest small forward that we will have to a Geelong small forward.
Yep.
Score involvements, goal assists,
you love
goals.
that. You love that.
I love the Geelong small forwards. They're the best small forwards in the last decade. They just keep bringing them out because they know how to play.
Okay.
So for number 8, I went with Ollie Hollands. I know... I know you don't trust... I love Ollie Hollands. He's one of my favourite small forwards.
Yeah, but it's more than just loving him.
Not small forwards, sorry. Wingers.
Like loving him, and why do you love him?
There's a bit of bias. There's opinion-based, as you said.
What's the reason for
he's
loving
going
him?
to jump the next step. I think he can run all day. He's looking like he's going to be a mid-20s disposal winner. I think that's what he's going to go to. Like mid to low 20s.
So you rate Ollie Hollands better than Ollie Florent?
Positional wise, yes. I think that we have a lot of half-backers. We don't have a lot of wingers.
Okay, all right. Okay, let's see if the viewers agree with that.
7,
Seriously, I think it sucks, but that's okay.
He was my most underrated player last year.
It's good, mate. It's good.
7, Jagger Smith.
Yep.
I all the reasons in the world not to put him in top 10. I was putting him out. I kept 15, 14. And then he's pre-season.
Yeah, and we will say that we watched the practice game.
Yeah.
If he'd have put in a performance like he did against Brisbane, which was okay, wasn't like...
No, well, he had like 20 disposals on the goal.
Where would have you had him if he, say, had 18 and a goal?
13.
Okay.
I had him at 13, 14.
Okay, so he's jumped to there based off the 30s. I'm the same, mate. I had him at... I think I had him in Cerra at 11.
Well, you had him 13 last year, didn't you?
When I first started this, I had him at 5. Even before the practice games, when I was doing my rough, I had him. Then I thought, no, I can't do that. When we did the criteria, I thought, no, I can't. Even though importance, but I can't. It doesn't make sense to have someone who's never played a game But then I'm thinking it sort of says a little bit about my view on our list. I've got a view on our list that it's not that strong. But anyway, we won't get into that. All right, so you got Jagger at 7.
Yeah.
Okay, you got at 6.
Georgie Hewitt.
Wow.
Most consistent man at the club.
No problem.
Most consistent
No, but
man
I'm just looking at the plays there.
It's only 5 above.
I'm looking at that guy that hasn't been mentioned yet. Okay, why George there?
I think he's just the most consistent player. I think he's not he's not like he's like good at everything. He's not elite at a lot of things.
I agree.
And
you know what he's elite at? Finding the pill.
Being consistent.
That's being consistent. That's important.
Yeah.
And he's got pretty good his durability is not too bad. He's had a few injuries.
He's had a couple.
And to think that not maybe 2 years ago, remember he was getting squeezed out of the team when Matthew Kennedy was there.
He had like 4 or 5 games as a sub.
Yeah, and I reckon he may have even spent a game in the VFL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was a Cerra got injured.
Yeah, and
then he came back in.
Yeah, they couldn't fit him in. I've got no problems with that.
Yeah,
Georgie.
top 5.
Okay, let's go. Let's go top 5.
Are we going one at a time or?
Yeah, let's go one at a time.
Yeah.
Okay, let's build the suspense up. You like that? Let's build this
suspense. Yeah.
Suspenser.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay, I'll go George Hewitt at 5.
Yeah.
Most consistent player at the football club.
Yeah.
I think very, very reliable. And I think that helps that he doesn't get tagged.
You think he'll get tagged after?
No, because he does the tagging.
Cooper.
You know what I mean? Like, so he doesn't get someone locking down on him,
no.
Which enables him to, sort of run his own show.
Yeah.
And sometimes get under the guard of the opposition. If he goes to a player, he can work off them. So he's probably got an advantage there, but best and fairest winner last year. He's been so consistent since he arrived at the club. Like, he's been such a good pickup. So I've got him at 5.
A couple of months. So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
I shifted Harry.
I think it's mine 5.
Oh, you go.
Yeah,
So you go.
Look at there. He can't stop talking.
Okay. You got Will Hayward.
Will Hayward at 5. Okay. I think he was one. I love Will.
Stop saying you love them. Tell us why you fucking love them.
Okay. So Will Hayward was one of those players I hated to go up against.
Okay.
When he always seemed to kick 4 or 5, like Tim Membry when he was at St Kilda. No, let me finish.
Can I just say something though before you go? There's a lot of players who do that.
I know Tim Membry is one of them. Like, there's always these players, and he's played in 2 grand finals. He's highly regarded in a Sydney team that is one of the most consistent teams over the last 10 years. There's a reason why he's so good, and I think as a number 2, he's no longer the fourth string.
No, I've got no problem with it.
He's number 2 in our forward line. We're going to go through
top
5. I think he's going to kick over 40
Would he
goals.
be top 5 at Sydney?
No, but that's the thing. The Sydney's list is so much better than ours.
Well, there you go. That's what I'm trying to say.
And the thing is, he is the 4th string forward who kicks 40 goals.
Okay, let's good. All right, I got no problem with it, mate. Let's see. What do you think? I mean, would you have Will Hayward in your top 5 and have a go at doing it yourself? Like, it's a bloody difficult exercise to do. I've got Harry at 4, and only because of importance. I actually feel like he's reached his peak.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're ever going to see an aggressive, robust Harry mckay is going to bust through packs and assert his authority physically on the game when things aren't sort of going his way. But he's still a really good player. Like, and he does some things where he gets up the ground and takes marks up the ground, down the line.
Do you think we want that this year because he's the only option?
Well, the thing is, we won't necessarily play that way.
Well, he did against Geelong. He was up the ground.
No, what I'm saying is, you remember he take a lot of those marks down the line late in games when we really... Because we played that way.
Because also we had Charlie, so there's someone there in the forward
but it does take a lot of those contested marks down the ground because we were kicking long down the line.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. So this change of game plan, you would think should suit him. Ball coming in a little bit quicker, a little bit more predictable. But he hasn't set the world on fire so far.
Yeah.
But you can't fault his importance to the team. Anyway, I've got him at 4.
Yeah, my 4, I went with our captain, Patrick Cripps.
Why are you hiding it?
No, well, so you don't look, Dad. I'm going to go with 4. I'm going to go with our captain, Patrick Cripps.
Ooh, I had him at 1 last year.
Well, yes. He just came off a historic Brownlow. Why wouldn't you?
But it was more than that.
Yes. Well, I think this year... Well, clearly, I haven't said Sam Walsh yet, so I have him higher. I think this has to be the year Sam Walsh takes over as the number 1 midfield. We don't need Cripps to carry the load anymore. I think him as a forward, I love it. I want him to play more forward and have that midfield. You know, I think he's still super important to the culture of the club, being our captain. I think this will be his last year as captain, though.
Yeah. No, I don't mind him at 4 because I've got him at 3.
Yeah.
And I had him at 1 last year.
Yeah.
And I actually really thought about having him maybe at 4 and Harry in front of him. In fact, I did have Harry in front of him, and I changed it. But yeah, I like the fact though now we might see that real flexibility of him spending large chunks forward, and if he gets that opportunity, what can he do there? Because then that becomes a different dynamic.
Dangerfield type, where you went forward.
I don't think he's...
No, I'm saying...
Yeah, no, I agree.
All the Dangerfield going into the forward line.
Yeah, I agree with that. So maybe his importance now becomes even greater than when he was just in the midfield. Jeez, I've trumped you there.
There you go.
Oh. All right, have you got
Roll
a
out
3?
my list.
You got Harry at 3, haven't you?
No, I got Sam Walsh.
Ooh.
I think... our most important midfield going into 2026.
He's going to get tagged a lot, isn't he?
He is, but
and that will come this week. Who will play on him? That's like
Robon, probably.
No, that's that other guy that came from Melbourne. You remember he was a sub in the grand final, didn't get on the ground?
Oh, well, name.
Yeah,
I cannot think of the name. So, there you go. We'll
God,
put it in the comments, I guess, what the name is. We'll have a look.
That's bad, actually. It'll probably come to us as we keep going. Okay, yep.
Most important midfielder.
But there is still question marks a little bit on his
body. I think I was worried that when he went down against Geelong, but he seemed to bounce back and had I think.
Where do you rate him amongst the midfielders in the game? Be honest. Where do you rate him? All right, I'll give you
higher than Kane Corns apparently.
No. Okay, I'll give you. I'll chuck a few at you and be honest.
As like a better or worse.
Yeah. Okay. Who would you want, Butters or Walsh?
Butters.
Who would you want? Bontempelli or Walsh? And I know people will say, "Oh, that's that." No, well, it's not. Who would you want
with this current side? So, like they get putting into
this
side.
I'll just say Bont or Walsh. Oh, actually, I'll take Ed Richards or Walsh.
Walsh. He's younger.
Okay, fair enough. Jordan Dawson or Walsh.
Walsh.
Okay.
Younger.
Nick Dacos or Walsh.
Dacos. He's the best player in the competition.
Okay. Sarong or Walsh.
Walsh.
Brayshaw or Walsh?
Walsh.
Okay. I'm trying to think of other. Merritt or Walsh? I'd take Walsh over Merritt. No, I'd take Walsh over Merritt.
I love Merritt's game. I think he's...
But I'd probably take Ed Richards over Walsh.
Really? The thing is, I wouldn't take Bont in this current team because Cripps and Bont wouldn't work in the midfield.
Yeah. Oh, we could keep going on about that. So you're Walsh at 3?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've 2. I got Walsh at 2.
Yeah. Easy. Yeah.
I got Walsh at 2. I just think when he's going, we're fucking so good.
We need him to be good this year.
I mean, when he's going and he's got that speed and he's got that breakaway, if it's back, we are better when he's up and about. And there's no doubt about that.
He had a full pre-season.
He's a beast. He's not... My always was in it, and I think it was even the same when he was at his best. My only concern with him is his ball use.
He's a bit of a long bomber.
Yeah.
Mitch Robinson.
Yeah. But he's number 2 for me. Who's yours? Harry?
Harry.
Fucking hell.
My only reason is what will happen if Harry gets injured. If we're putting importance as you...
Yeah. No,
if Harry goes down...
But there is also...
Hudson O'Keefe as our full forward...
He's won a Coleman.
He's won a Coleman.
How many
He's
times
All-Australian once because of the Coleman year.
How many times have you finished in the top 10 of the best and fairest?
At least 3 or 4 times, I
reckon.
Yeah. Well, the Coleman year...
Recent form?
I didn't go 12 months. I went 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, he kicked 45 goals 2 years ago.
Okay, no, I haven't got a problem with him at all. I got no problem
He's
with him.
our only option in the forward line. I think the key stocks is so important this year because we have nothing else. There is no backup for Harry. No backup.
Okay, and then obviously number one, we're agreeing on this.
He's the best player on our list. In my opinion.
Yeah, I think that could be debated.
Oh, of course it's debated, but in my opinion, he's the best player on our list. Jacob Wiedering, if none
I don't necessarily have him at one because I think he's the best player on our list.
I think it's for everything. He ticks every criteria for me.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Well, injury is a bit.
No, he's never really injured.
Well, he always gets back, doesn't he? He always gets.
Yeah, he looks sore a lot of the time. Doesn't have the flexibility. He can't play forward. He's fucking.
Well, yeah, he had 3 goals in his second year against West Coast.
Good age, sweet spot of his career.
Yeah,
he's always been a good player. He's always performed really strongly.
Recent,
very hard to beat as a defender.
All Australian.
He's a leader.
2-time.
He can be a bit miserable, like he can, but I think that's a reflection of the team. You know what I mean?
He's never had that. Look at his support over the years. You got Liam Jones.
Yeah, and this is where I think the culture of the club needs to change.
Imagine Dean.
Where just because, and I've heard rumours that he doesn't necessarily play that well alongside Lewis Young. You've heard that?
Yes, you say it all the time.
With that can't be. No, I haven't said it.
You've said to me.
Yeah, but I don't think I've ever said it on the channel.
No.
But if that's the case, that can't happen.
No, derkson.
No. What I'm saying is, you can't have a situation where, like everyone on your list, you need to be able to work with them.
I think that's what happened last year. We kind of weaved out the rot a bit. I think trying to change the culture, and I think that's what I'm excited about.
Oh no doubt there. So anyway, that's the 145 to number one. I think most will agree with the number one. I think most will have Wiedering. Be interesting. I mean, if you don't want to do the 45, it's too much. Do your top 10, or even top 20, because there's certainly been some differences between Spencer and myself, and it was always going to be the case. So, hope you enjoyed it. I never say this, but if you like the video, give it a like. Obviously, mention Spencer in the comments below. Is he worth getting back?
Be nice.
Is it worth putting him on the list? SSP. He's had an opportunity to train. Is it worth getting him back?
Be behind the scenes.
So, but there is a new function, guys, called hype, which is interesting. So you press hype, and you can do it 3 times, and then your video gets hyped. Particularly videos that are sort of lower. Not that this is a low video, but less than
elite.
And then it gets on some sort of leaderboard and it exposes. I'd rather that than the like. I'd rather you press hype. But anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks, Spence.
Oh, thank you.
It was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me.
As I say, it's gone for over an hour, so this is probably going to take 3 weeks to download.
I talk a lot. I get it from him. So
yeah. All right, guys. Take care. See ya.
See ya.
Bye.